So, excuse me, when, trying to project the spirit of whoredom onto me would not manifest, she started trying to use words to try to manipulate me into believing that what she's saying is true. I know who I am. I know myself more than anyone else knows me, other than God himself. You can't tell me who I am. I've never been with anyone because of what they could offer me or what they offered me. Regardless of what you give me or can give me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Even if you're gonna get offended afterwards. Yeah? And that's just how I am. I tell you the truth, Mercury in Libra, and then I move on. I have no writ against you. I don't hate you. I cannot allow myself to be engulfed or saturated with frequencies of hatred. That's too low vibrating. Yeah? And so I gotta tell you my mind and then move on, because I'm not gonna sit here and beat up myself over something that you did to me. I'm gonna tell you what you did to me and how that makes me feel, and then move along. Okay? And that's why it's so important for you to know who you are. You got to know yourself. What's happening now with COVID-19, it's a beautiful time. And it's not just COVID-19, but there are other viruses too. And there are going to be other viruses. I've been saying that for some time now. And, what's going on now is a beautiful time. It's such a beautiful time for people to discover themselves or rediscover themselves, yeah? To return to the innocence. I've been saying that if you scroll down to the earlier videos on this Instagram, yeah? And also my previous Instagram, SKYYGoddessInfinity, you would see you would hear and see where in which I've been, advising people to transcend to higher frequencies, to get to know themselves, to introspect, become like the hermit, okay? Because that is the only way you can transcend to higher frequencies. No, you're not transcending, or you're not going to transcend by watching me, by talking about me, by gossiping. Okay? You gotta introspect. Alright? So, you gotta know who you are. And a part of knowing who you are is to introspect. And that's how you get to know who you are. Yeah? Look at the life choices you've made. Yeah? Draft your own conclusion. You know what's right and what's wrong. Now, I'm not putting down women who, have had children outside of wedlock. But I remember, I've been thinking, yeah? Is this woman, she's a real whore, a real harlot. And she's been trying to project them energies onto me because she feels, very insecure about that aspect of her. And I'm going to tell you why. I think I said in a previous video where in which, she's, from Trelawney, she's from the country. And, she came from, very poor, parents, they had a kind of like dirt poor upbringing. And, I think it was after the death of her father that, she was sent to live with her brother in Kingston. Her eldest brother, who was a police officer at the time, he was married at the time to his first wife. And she was staying with them. And, it makes me wonder to myself if she's the one who, caused the death of that marriage. She's such a hateful person. And, what she claimed, they ill-treated her, they didn't treat her well, and all of that. And that's why, when, she went to the country and was going back down, one day, she met my father, supposed father, on a bus. And she came off the bus. And, that was the beginning of their relationship. She just met a random stranger and started living with him just like that. And I remember her talking about, him wanting to become a singer. And so I was able to connect the pieces. Oh, because when you try to tell me about me, which you know nothing about me because you're not one to introspect, not even your goddamn self, moreover to know anything about me, you're pretty much telling me, what you think about yourself, subconsciously. And that's another aspect of Scorpios. They though they like to cast illusions, they are honest if you pay attention, because they tend to, say what's within their subconscious, and I've noticed that. So you gotta, listen keenly to these people. They tend to expose themselves. And connecting the dots, I was like, oh, so you've always been money grabbing. So you probably was, singing some lyrics to her, yeah? And, talked about, becoming a singer, and, that got her riled up, yeah? And therefore she just came off the bus with him, thinking that, oh, he's gonna be wealthy, yeah? So, that's her opportunity, yeah? At, a life of ease and luxury. Because like I've said, she's quite lazy, but she tried to create this illusion that she's not, yeah? She's not ambitious. I tell you, ambitious people, they, improve, yeah? Whatever it is that you're doing, you improve upon that. You're not stuck at one level, especially when you have support around you. I've seen my progress without, physical support, without the support of people. That's true ambition. And so she came off the bus with him because she thought he was going to become a musician, a singer, yeah? And she realized she couldn't manipulate him, so she could manipulate his wealth. She, sabotaged his career by cursing his career. And that's exactly how it happened. Yeah? And that's why, she's been trying to give me a hard time here, because whenever I come here, she does, the most to try to get me to leave. Because she thinks that I'm the same, She thinks that, like her, I have no endurance. I'm not persevering. She thinks I have no long suffering, and that's contrary to the fact. I possess the 7 heavenly virtues, which is being diligent, having perseverance, long suffering. All the 7 heavenly frequencies. That's me personified. Humility, charity, chastity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence. Now, she was not willing to stay the long haul and, achieve something out of her life. She decided to run away from, even if she was, going through hardship. Endure it until, things, got better for you. That's what she always says. But, people, they tend to be such hypocrites. They tell you this, to do that, but they're not taking their own advice. It's as if they're saying, do what I say, but not as I do. How hypocritical you are. Now, teachers lead by example. Leaders, true, authentic leaders, lead by example.